Welcome you guys. I'm going to be doing an experimental lube on this cube. Not experimental lube, but I would say the lubing process is going to be experimental. I just got finished cleaning the cube and now I'm going to break it down. And that way I'm going to end up starting with lubing the core. I'm going to be trying 3 different lubes today. It's the first time I've ever tried that. But I ended up getting a Volk 3 from the Cubicle, and I absolutely fell in love with the way that it was lubed. And I contacted them to find out how exactly they lubed it and the lubes that they used, and they sent me an email. Actually, I'll post that up on the screen as well for exactly how they went about it. The 3 lubes I'm going to be using today is going to be Lubicle Speedy. I don't know if you can see that. We also have DNM-37, which I've heard really good things about this one. Apparently just like one drop and it just makes everything fast. I'm pretty excited to see how that goes. And last but not least, the Traxxas 30K diff lube is what I'm also going to be using. And I know it seems a little excessive to use 3 different lubes in your cube, but I'm telling you, I tried it by the way that they did it and it was amazing. At least with the Volk it was. So I'm going to be showing you guys what I believe they did. This is my first time trying this, so this is why it's an experiment, so we'll see how it goes. But now we're going to basically disassemble the core down to just one piece and start our lubing. Alright, so got the spring, got the screw, but I'm not seeing a washer in there, which is surprising. But this is like I think when we got this cube it was like $3, so I guess not too surprising. So we will continue. Alright, so I have the majority of them, and I'm going to kind of see if I can take a sneak peek at this real quick to see in between. Alright. So we're going to start off, we're going to leave that one connected, and we are going to be placing some lube on the inside of the centerpiece where the spring and or the washer, if I had any, would sit. And we're also going to be applying lube between the centerpiece and the core, right where those two meet. So in the email it states that we're going to be applying the Traxxas 30K to the centerpieces and also the core where the centerpieces meet. So right in the bottom down here, I know it's going to be hard to see, but down in there all the way at the end is where we're going to be putting some Traxxas diff lube and the Traxxas 30K. Man, I don't like these. I know when it finally goes, it's going to just put a ton all over the place. So this is like a thicker, pretty heavy lube, and the whole purpose of this is to cut down on spring noise and let it glide a little bit. It does make a little bit of a difference, but nothing too drastic. So I got a little bit in there now. So we're gonna take our screw, throw it in there. We're just going to screw this down. And I'm just going to screw this down until it's about the same as the first one. We're using that, or the last one I mean. We're going to use the last one that we haven't taken out yet as a reference. So for instance, this is the one that I did already. And that is the one that was tensioned properly before. And that looks like I can only see roughly 3 threads or so. This one I think I could see like 4 or 5, so got a little bit more to go. Almost there. Yeah, it looks about right. So now we're going to take some and we are going to get it right in there. Right where the core and the centerpiece meet. We're going to get that all over. You don't need a lot. And then we're just going to work that around a little bit. All right, I'm going to turn it around, do the same thing with this one, and I'm going to do the same thing to all of them, and I will get back to you once that's taken care of. Okay, so I got the core taken care of. I've got everything between the core and the centerpiece taken care of, as well as the base of the springs, where the springs sit. Now, I did have one, after I got done with everything, I turned all of these, and as you can hear, it's silent. You don't hear any spring clicking. And I didn't have any, except for one. I did have one, and what I did is I took it out, and I added a little bit of extra lube down at the spring seat, and then actually just under the Phillips head, the actual head of the bolt, or the screw, just underneath it, I added a little bit of the Traxxas there as well. So that one side has lube on both sides of the spring, and that got rid of my spring noise completely, so I'm happy about that. Now we're going to move on to basically the assembly up to the middle layer. So I think this is where we take the Traxxas again. It says, yeah, a rice-sized amount on 2 of the torpedoes in the second layer. All right. And in case you don't know, the torpedoes are going to be this piece right here. It kind of actually looks like a torpedo. But basically this is what keeps your cube from popping. You have, I'll actually show you right here. So your pieces fit together like this, and that torpedo, when that edge is trying to pull out, these pieces are actually scooping underneath that torpedo and keeping it from getting pulled out. So this is like, the torpedo is like an anti-pop mechanism essentially. So it says a rice-sized amount on 2 torpedoes in the middle layer. So we're gonna take this and I'm gonna try and go for a rice-sized amount. That looks about right. And then I'm going to install that. All right, and for my last piece, I'm just going to repeat the process. We're going to do the same thing. Try and go for a rice-sized amount. Okay, that should be good. And I think we're done with the DN, or no, done with the DNM, the Traxxas. All right, got that. And now it says for tracks and pieces, we're going to be using Lubicle Speedy and DNM-37. So let me actually install 2 of these real quick. They didn't really specify the amount for each one. So I'm just gonna start off small and work my way up. So this is gonna be DNM-37. I'm going to start this off, and it says tracks and pieces. So I guess I'm gonna start by doing a little dab right there, and I'll do another little dab right there, and I'll match it up a little bit. And then we'll take our Lubicle Speedy. What is this child-proof? Wow, it seriously is child-proof. I didn't even know that they had that. All right, and I'm going to do a little dab right there, a little dab on the other side, and I'm actually going to do a small little dab right there. I'm going to take the DNM. I'm going to put one in that standing centerpiece as well. Just right there. Very curious to see what this is going to turn out like. Okay, now let's finish off the assembly. Okay, it's all done. Let's see. I got to break it in. Right away, I can actually notice the Traxxas. It is helping to keep the cube stable. It's trying to keep it from overturning. It is essentially like if we had nothing but Lubicle Speedy or DNM-37 in this, it would just fly and you would basically have instability. It wouldn't be very controlled. So I can notice that so far. It's helping to make things line up. My corner cutting on this is already a little bit better. I'm going to do one more drop of each one, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm actually going to separate these pieces. I'm going to do a drop of DNM right here. And then I'm going to flip it over, and on the opposite side, I'm going to do a drop of Speedy. Oh, that was 2 drops. Whoops. Okay, and let's break it in. All right, I'm starting to feel it now. Oh yeah, yep. So, my conclusion. Traxxas diff lube. Traxxas 30K. Use this for your core. And I would say, as far as having the little rice-sized pieces on your edges, it is completely up to you, because it will slow the cube down a hair, but I feel like it brings it down to a slightly more controllable level than if you were to use these two or one of these by themselves, the DNM or the Lubicle Speedy. If you use these by themselves, your cube is going to fly, I can already tell. But if you add that Traxxas into it, it will help to give you a controllable cube. It's hard to explain, something you kind of have to just see for yourself. But one thing I did notice as far as this, and I don't know if it's because of the cube or if it's because of the lube combination, but when I had this cube brand new using this setup, it will seem a little sticky. Not sticky, but like it doesn't want to move a lot. And it still glides like butter, and it just glides. But after you do maybe 5 solves, then it seems like the lube in the cube heats up, and then it just goes after that. It's just insanely fast, but still controllable because of that Traxxas. I would say this is a critical component when it comes to using either one of these. I would probably, at a minimum, lube the core with this to help give you a little bit more control in your spins or in your turns. But after you do about 5 or so solves, then the cube kind of opens up, the lube gets a little bit hot, and then it wants to just fly after that. So I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with this. I think I have my new setup. All right, I hope you guys like this video. If you guys are interested in picking up the Traxxas, the DNM-37, or the Lubicle Speedy, I will have a link in the description for all 3 of these for multiple websites, as well as this cube. If you're interested in picking up a nice budget cube, I do have a link in the description for that as well. And I hope that this was able to help you out, or at least give you guys a kind of a brief overview of what it's like to utilize 3 lubes in one lubing for a cube. I'll be posting videos as the days go by. Please feel free to subscribe, comment. I would like to know what you guys think about this process, as well as if you don't subscribe, please at least give this video a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time.